Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines, where we're still working on a little bit of traffic here, and I was thinking just now about what we've got going on here. Now let's go ahead and proceed with this, and we can see we've definitely got a pretty big issue with these two merges, and I'm wondering, why do we need these two merges to exist in the form that they're in right now? What if, hypothetically, we had this that came in over here. Apparently that sloped too steep. Okay, we would need to have this like maybe a little lower. How are we looking here? What is that actual height differential? Okay, fair enough. So we would bring this up to be, actually we should probably have a smaller height step here. That's needing to be up a little bit. That's still coming up quite a lot. Okay, well the idea is as follows. We don't need this to merge in the way it is. So we're going to bring this back like so. And then we're going to merge it in over here instead, like that. So we merge these together, and then we bring this up for now anyway to a 2-lane. Just so that they can both merge together in the in a way that doesn't actually affect anything here. So we do something kind of like this, right? Then I would like to branch this off up over, well, it could even be here, but up over this way would be ideal. And I'd like to have this merge in up here. Now, that's not very realistic looking. It looks like that's not going to end up happening. That was the ultimate idea. Just having this will make things slightly better. And let's go ahead and pull this back. Okay, so we're going to have all of these just going straight for right now. This will merge into this lane, and this will merge into this lane, like so. Now, I don't necessarily think that that'll fix the problem here. Why are you merging over? Hang on a moment. What do we got going on here? It's a little bit broken, but yeah, that's not how this is supposed to go at all. No wonder this is causing issues here. I guess I was merging those over because we wanted this lane open. But that's not necessary right now. Okay, so these two merge together here without a problem. That's to be expected. And then this comes up over here. This merge is going to be a bit dicey, and that was always going to be the case, because I want to make it so that if you're going up this way, you just don't have to go onto this road at all. That would be our best bet right now. So you can see this is not in fact fixing the problem, because this is only half of the solution that I had in mind. Now, apparently it's going to be quite complicated. Yeah, it's apparently going to be quite complicated to get this to actually function the way I wanted it to. That makes me sad. Because this was the plan, was to create a bit of a bypass over this way, and then have this section and this section go to one lane, and just not have any merging whatsoever there. That was the plan. But it looks like that doesn't want to work. Hang on a moment. What do we got going on here? Yeah, this should not be one way. I must have accidentally upgraded that at some point. That's not really costing us too much right now. But if we do that, that should be much better. Now, I still do want to figure out a way to get this done. The best way, in my opinion, to do this would be to have this section right here, ideally. This is not really going to work as is, but this section would be one lane. And then we would have this going like that. This would expand out to 2 lanes here, and then we would have it branching something kind of like this. Now, that's not going to let us build it, obviously. We've already figured that out. So the question is, why? What is the actual problem here? Well, the problem is that this is kind of wild that it let us build that in the first place. That's an insane hill. So there's some of that going on. I'm not going to delete this because I don't have faith that we get that rebuilt at all. So looking at the actual slope here, that's just barely a slope as it is. I'm shocked that it's not letting us build that, but okay. So how do we want to bypass that if this is not going to work? We could try to bring it down over here. We could try to bring it up through here. Actually, there's a spot there, right here, where it let us do that. And then we'd merge that in like so. So this here, no, not that. We'll have to change that. This would go down to 1 lane. This would need to be rebuilt, which we hope it actually works. Oh, this section would have to be rebuilt as well. Okay, so we rebuild that to be like so. There we go. And we don't want to have any actual merge-ins happening here. We just bring those two together like that. Okay, so then we're going to have to get this moved over here. Kind of like so. Now, how are we going to move, or rather merge this in? That's a good question. Are we down below this? We actually are. And I feel like we should go over it here. So instead, we're going to bring this around and bring it quite up. Well, that merges in right here. So we do have to go underneath it. No, we can go over it. Like so. And then I'd love to merge this in up over here. Now, the question is, can we make that happen? I don't know if we can. This is very awkward as it is, but it should make things a little better. Now, obviously, this section is going the wrong way, but I do want to come over here and get this fixed before I forget. There we go. So, how are we going to get this to connect in? Ideally, it would be up over here. Do we have to drop it down at all? We may have to drop it down once it is through here. So we would grab that, connect this in here, bring it around, and maybe drop it down? Connecting up here would be a little bit pointless. We would need to connect it here. Obviously, this section is going the wrong way, and we would end up turning that around. Like that. Well, what if we were to try to take it from here? This connection would be ideal. It would let us bring it out over this direction. We can't go down any further. I think we're down too far as it is. What are we actually connected to here? Yeah, we'd want to connect it here. Yeah, I can see why that would be sloped too steep. That's definitely a pretty steep slope there. Incredibly steep, in fact. So that's going to be the overall problem there. We could maybe bring it out over this direction and try to drop it down a little bit. And then bring it around this way. Hello. I mean, that works, but this did not actually connect up over here. There we go. I mean, that's very awkward. Very meandering and roundabout. We might be able to... Well, first off, I want to flip this guy around. So this connects. At this point, I would like to find a better way to do it. So from here, I would like to find a slightly better path. We would need, I think, to drop this guy slightly down. Or maybe up. Okay. It's much easier to tell from here. Okay. I mean, that's better. That would work. Okay, so from here, then we would have this going here or straight. And then this would be purely straight. Now, I expect from here, our primary issue would be, oh, and I would want to have this go back down to a single lane. Like that. Okay, so this would go here, this would go straight, ideally. Now, I expect our problem at this point, which we're not actually doing this. There we go. I expect our problem here is traffic coming this way that wants to go this way, trying to merge here. We'll see how that goes. We'll let this flow for a bit. Lots of people in this center lane trying to merge in, but I think now that's going to clean up a little bit. I'm actually surprised at the lack of bottleneck here, at least thus far. There's still a lot of people pathfinding this way. But this is certainly smoothing it out a little bit. So at this point, this merge in is still a bit problematic. Okay. So we can think about what we want to do about that. That's certainly the bottleneck at this point. So in that case, let's go ahead and work on bringing this connection over to here, this connection over to here. And what if we made this a dedicated lane? Oh, I keep right-clicking. There we go. What if we made that a dedicated lane? They then immediately try to merge in up here because they're trying to turn off here. So I don't know how helpful that really is. Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced that that's actually helpful. The traffic is moving. Maybe that's functioning. I think we are working our way through that bottleneck. It's definitely awkward with all of the height variations here. There's no doubt about it. But I think that is improving. This is still a bit problematic for us right over in here. As we attempt to come in here, that center lane merging back over to turn off this direction is awkward. So the major problem here is that we're still, we're not fully utilizing this path, and that's probably because it's a substantially longer path than I'd like it to be. That's almost certainly what's happening here, but the reason that this is a longer path is because we can't easily just merge in over this way, right? So that's a bit problematic. It is pulling some of the strain off. But I feel like it's not enough. Yeah, it's definitely not enough. This is still too heavily trafficked here. So, what do we want to do about that? The problem here, of course, is I would love to have just taken this up and merged it in like this. This would be ideal. Or maybe a little further back, something kind of like this. There's no way that that's ever going to happen. Like, with the height variations here, the game is just not going to let that be a thing. Even this would be much better. Much, much better. So the question is, how can we forbid people from taking this exit and taking this exit? That's the question, because that is what most of this traffic is doing.
All that jazz. Because you deserve some chill time.
Well, one thing we could try to allow is this. Actually, I'm not convinced that that's necessary, now that I think about it. We can remove that, and then we can add in, instead of this being a dedicated turn lane, they can go straight here. More like that. That shouldn't have cleaned this up the way it did. Like, for real, that should not have done the trick. Okay, I'm a little confused by that, but I'll allow it. It was probably going to clean itself up anyway, is my guess on what was happening there. Okay, so with that cleaned up, I do want to modify this a bit. Because if this traffic is substantially lessened, then we can simply do something like this and go back to the way it was previously. But I dislike that. Okay. We could allow them to go like this. And let's see what that ends up doing. Okay, so what else do we need to work on here? That's enough of that for the moment, I feel like. We could use a little bit more commercial. Overall, everything appears to be largely under control. We've got a few fires here and there. Bit of a garbage collection issue right here, but that should get taken care of very shortly. We've got waste collection trucks right over here. They're full right now, but they should come back and deal with that. So let's just expand our commercial area here a little bit. We don't need very much expansion of that. And how are we doing on our park? Okay, we need 2,500 visitors to get to the next level. Did we unlock any additional bits for it? Let's see. Souvenir shop. I think this is still the best that we've got. Yeah. We've got everything there built that we can for the moment. We're just trying to get that leveled up, so that should be fine. I want to check in on some other traffic hotspot areas, like this. It looks okay. And what about this over here? That looks reasonably fine too. No traffic issues there. Potentially a traffic issue here. Ultimately, I don't think this is too bad. Okay. Coming down over this way, this all looks good. And this all looks reasonable as well. Hello, what's going on here? I see. That is not an intended path. So let's go ahead and tell them they gotta go straight here. This pathfind should not be allowed to pathfind up here, turn over this way, and then go like that. That is not allowed. This is a dedicated turn lane, and then this lane would expand out like so. And now they're doing the same thing, one intersection up. Yeah, let's not do that, thanks. Just go on straight. You're not intended to take this route to go to this island. If you want to go to this island, you're intended to take this route. Or, yeah, you're intended to take this route. Okay. So don't do that. This can be a dedicated turn lane as well, and then this would expand out into these two lanes. Okay. This is not intended to connect to this island. So stop it. Cool. Okay. I'm going to have this go down to be a one-lane, one-way route here. And the same here. Like that. This should be off, I believe. And then this is on. Something kind of like that. I mean, it's going to be a little bit awkward, I suppose. Well, actually, no. I do want these to be bidirectional, the way that they were. So let's get those changed back. And then I want to just change the way that the lanes are using them. Okay, so let's go back into this mode. Hopefully it'll stop bugging. No? There we go. Okay, so this can turn here. This can turn here. Like that. This only goes straight. So this only services this direction, right? So that'll be fine. You go straight. You go straight. Then we're going to do the same thing over here. This turns in. This turns in. And then straight. And straight. Like that. Cool. There we go. That should make that flow a little bit better. Any other issues that we've got going on there? I think not for the moment. I'm surprised that we don't have a intersection throughput issue here. But for now, we don't. So I'm reasonably content with that. Ah, now that's a throughput issue. If ever I've seen one. Okay. So obviously we can't upgrade this street because this is attached to the cargo harbor. With that being the case, we could add an additional cargo harbor down over this way. So we would, like, get rid of these streets here. Like so. We'd put in an additional cargo harbor just to relieve the strain on this one up over this way. And that would be this guy. That's giving space already occupied, but we can put it in here. There we go. And then we don't need this to be underground. We would have this go in over this way. And then over this way. And then these would want to connect in. That's so awkward. Like that. I don't like the bend that this road developed. What happens if we straight line tool it? Straight line tool. Try to connect it there. No, that's not going to work. Okay. What happens if we get rid of this section of road and just have it connect in like that, and then do that? That works. Cool. This would all be agricultural, or not agricultural, all industrial still. Okay. So something along the lines of that. We are going to need water at this cargo harbor. Cool. And that should pull a lot of the strain, like almost half of the strain off of this cargo harbor. Probably not quite half, but a significant chunk of it. That's a lot of building level ups. Okay. Fantastic. So yeah, we can see here, we're already pulling a lot of strain off of that single cargo harbor. So that's very good. Man, that's a lot of leveling up happening. That's insane. Okay. So we'll see if this improves at all. I think it already is improving. Cool. It will take time because the cargo harbors can only process so much. We can see there's a lot of traffic on both of these. We're probably... I'm thinking about upgrading one of these streets. And I'm not sure which one just yet. This is definitely a bit of a conundrum. So, looking at this, there's some backup over here. That's unsurprising. Okay, I think I've made my decision. We are going to go through here and upgrade. Starting, like, back here if we can. But starting up over this way, we're going to, for now, upgrade this. We're going to have to move this firehouse. That's okay. We'll relocate that to here. And then we will continue to upgrade all the way along this edge up here. Now we're going to have to move this road maintenance depot. That's okay. I will move it down over here for now. And we will continue to upgrade all through here. Not you. Not you. Get out of there. Okay. And we'll just make this be a relatively main thoroughfare. We will need to empty this building, so we'll tick forward for a bit there and let that happen. What else do we have along here? Not a whole lot for now. Okay, so that is currently empty, and we will relocate it just down over here a little bit. There we go. And we'll continue to upgrade this street. Straight down this way. Now, we can't upgrade it beyond here, but that's okay. For now, we'll call that good. And I would also like to upgrade what we've got going on over here. Ideally. Like, this would be a pretty decent upgrade to make. But then we come down here and we get slope too steep. So, to that end, I'm going to take that out. And this just entire general situation that we've got going on here. And then we're going to try to reconstruct this to bring it up. And ideally into here. Let's see, how underground is it? Not very. We're just getting space already occupied back over here. So in that case, I'm going to bring this up slightly differently. And we're going to bring it up and over. I want it to curve over kind of like this. And then connect in here. Distance too short, slope too steep. Okay. So we're going to take this generally out of there, and we're going to bring this up a little bit more. Let's see here. That's right on the surface level. Okay. So we bring this in to be about here. And then to about here. Oh, I'd really like to get this right in here. It does not want to go in there. Let's just see if we take these sections of road out of there and try to connect it in over here. Okay. We could get that in here. Space already occupied, invalid shape. This would work. Okay. So then the idea would be that we take this guy straight on in, and then this, I would want that to connect in this same intersection, ideally, or it could just terminate here. That's an option. I don't know how good of an option it is. So that would end up being something kind of like this. And then for now, we can just have that connect in like so. This is likely going to require additional work. And I'd like to do ultimately the same thing down over this way. And that immediately gives slope too steep. Now that's fair enough. We're going to attempt to take that out of there and just, I think I had the wrong road selected anyway. Bring this in more like that. Okay. That space already occupied because of this police station, which we can move off over this way. And then just generally upgrade this section of road as well. Now, we run into this tunnel here, which is fine. For now, I'm going to eliminate this tunnel, and we will rebuild that in a moment. And then we're going to need to relocate this guy, which we could move potentially like over here. And then I want to actually bring this back down to 2-lane. And the 6-lane road would go straight through here. So that would be this connection like that. Now that's giving space already occupied, slope too steep. So let's think about this here. Something kind of like that, and then we can connect this in like that. Again, this is likely going to require additional work. But let's just get all of that zoned up. There we go. And we'll see what that does for now. I'm thinking that it's probably going to be insufficient, but that will help. I'm pretty sure. At any rate, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue trying to get the JJ Gamer Park upgraded. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, Signal162, JJ Gamer, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.